All right, everybody. Well, we've got an interesting news story here for you folks today. It is actually posted yesterday by none other than the New York Post. It's about online dating apps and how they might be racist. I've got a couple of the fellows with me today, and we're going to go ahead and discuss this. We're going to read over this article and then look at some other information that's relative to the article or related to it, that is, and see what we can figure out about this racism on online dating apps. You guys want to introduce yourselves real fast?
Yeah, what's up, everybody? This is Mark Furman. Just here to overlook some racial bias and stuff like that. It's going down. Back when Mark Furman was Mark the Cop, this is how I used to beat the doc, and I'm just kidding. Hello.
Hey folks, how you doing? It's DB Cooper. We got an interesting article put in the post February 19th, 2021. We're going to go over regards to if you're on a dating, you may swipe.
Yeah, we'll see what's up to this these shenanigans with all this racism on these online dating apps for sure. Well,
Well,
at least we'll see what the New York
unfortunately,
Post says about it.
every aspect of our life, race crept into every corner, and now it's crept into the dating app.
And this is from 2000 what?
Well, this article from the New York Post is from yesterday.
Yesterday, yeah. So,
but we're going to cite we're going to cite other information that's related to this as well. That's not from yesterday. But yeah, if you want to go ahead and start doing a little bit of reading, I guess we'll go ahead and get going with this.
So this is a post article. So why you're swiping dating might be racist. So basically, the article states the author's book arguing race-blind dating. So now we're looking dating getting
you're
category
cutting out a
grade.
little bit, Wolf.
Bad.
All right. Well, I guess I'll do some reading here.
I guess me being on the looking at thing, being on my phone.
Yes, it's having some connectivity issues, but yeah, I'll go ahead and pick.
Basically, trying to bully people into dating, saying you're a racist you're racist if you swipe the other way.
Right. While your swiping behavior might indicate that you may be a white supremacist. All right. The author of a new book are arguing for race-blind dating apps and the removal of filters for race and ethnicity. Finding love, they say, isn't so black and white. In a new book, The Dating Divide, Race and Desire in the Era of Online Romance, sociologists Jennifer Lundquist, Celeste Vaughnan, Currington, and Ken Holin show how online dating sites exacerbate racial division. They found that race-related preferences filters on digital dating platforms help foster racist attitudes, especially towards black women. Finding out people or filtering out people based on race is a normal practice on dating apps, Lundquist told the Post. The idea of having racial preferences is unacceptable and illegal in any other arena, she added, but it's literally built into the structure of these dating apps. A 2014 study about dating preferences along racial lines on OKCupid came to a similar conclusion. That being, black women had a hard time matching on dating apps as did black and Asian men. A 2014 study also found that preferring to date within one's race was fairly common. For instance, black women preferred to date black men at a rate surpassed only by Asian women's preference for Asian men. Now they're citing this 2014 OKCupid study, saying that that's what it concludes, but we'll follow up on that a little bit later with some information that we have on that study or studies from that certain website. Filtering for race on dating apps has led to rampant racism. For their book, Lundquist and her co-writers analyzed large-scale behavior data from one of the leading dating sites in America. The author declined to publicly reveal which digital dating platform they used for their research per a data share agreement with the website. So they're saying that for this particular article, and well, for the book that these people wrote that's being referenced in this article, that they're getting their information from an online dating website. It's one of the major ones that they don't want to say who it is. I guess that's fair, considering they could be deplatformed for racism nowadays. Well, what kind of theme are you guys picking up on this article so far?
Hate whitey and bullying people into dating what they don't like, into interracial dating. That's what they're trying to do. They're trying to make you feel like you are a racist if you do not date Shaniqua or Laquarius Chamel, then you're a racist.
Right.
They're trying to guilt you into dating BTs. Trying to guilt you into it.
Well, you know what it is? These ethnicity filters are just confirming what we already know, that people always in regular life always avoiding Freud. So, and it looks, as it breaks down dating preference, it shows that more people prefer dating white people, white women specifically, and non-white people just swipe. So basically, you got the swipe normal color, swipe away from it, doesn't appeal to them. That's why they want to get rid of the ethnicity. So what I did was I Googled racist dating. Everything came up in regards to how race. But I did notice Grindr, the weirdo dating apps, LGBTQ freak, already have gotten their ethnic. So basically, there's no such thing as race, sexual, and that's where it be. So you have to look at those apps, what to regular dating apps. That's where we're heading.
That's interesting, because I hadn't looked into that yet. I mean, as you guys already know, I'm very familiar with this particular topic that we're reading about. I actually know about this OKCupid study, and I actually know of one that's older than the one they're referencing that's also from OKCupid, which we will bring up on the screen. But yeah, I hadn't really looked into the alternative lifestyle LGBTQ community dating websites. It's interesting that you're saying that race doesn't exist on many of them already.
Well, if you look at cycle of what's particularly the in thing with American politics, white policy, you always have to section, and that's what I did. I picked up on it, put in dating. Noticed some of the articles already figured out that homosexual already gotten rid of that. So, and I see that, and that's pretty much where we're headed as far as heterosexual in regards to race, because obviously they want to eliminate every avenue to have choice. God.
Well, yeah, they want you to go on a date, and maybe it's Johnny or Susie. Who knows? But it's all going to be a great time, and we're all inclusive.
Well, that goes for sexual orientation too. It ain't gonna matter that you're heterosexual.
Right, like all the dating websites eventually will be Grinder.
That's exactly it. That's where I'm getting.
That's where you're
that's
going
where we're
with
heading.
this,
Yeah,
right?
it's gonna be all one grind.
Right,
Chicks,
like sexual orientation won't be a question on the
chicks with dicks. You know, you're gonna
questions.
be forced upon whatever sick, depravity, degenerate animal that's on the dating.
Right, because it's also homophobic for one of these
Yeah.
websites to say that I shouldn't be able to receive messages from a gay man from Pakistan, you know, because I put in my filters that I don't want to receive messages or I'm not interested in gay Pakistanians.
Well,
I'm being a homophobe and a racist for putting that in my filters.
So that's why they're eliminating the filters. They want chicks with dicks to message, maybe even trick you into going onto a date that it's female or male.
Yeah.
The next thing you know, you're getting your eye poked. Chick dick. Truly bizarre, but this is where we're heading here to put this information to you folks, to warn people what's going on in dating, where the future heading.
Yeah. It's amazing, and it's pretty telling. They're going to want you to, bad enough, like you can't even have your preference of, I want to date a fellow white person or an Asian fellow Asian. They want you to date trannies now, all kinds of freaks of nature. And the fact is, people usually want to stay with their own, you know? That's how it usually works. They want your daughters and shit and your sons to feel racist if they don't pick Shaniqua.
Right here, I'm gonna start reading on because I read a little bit ahead and it actually references a little bit of what Wolf was saying. So I'm gonna go ahead and keep reading. They also conducted over 75 in-depth interviews with daters and of diverse racial backgrounds and sexual identities. The author found that racial filtering on match forums exposed Black women to more exclusion and rejection than white, Latina, and Asian female daters. Black women were the most likely to be excluded from searches, as well as the most likely recipients of offensive messages. Well, okay, whatever there. The research trio found that discrimination is laced into the algorithms of mainstream dating apps and websites. It's the idea that it's okay to say, I prefer this race of people and I don't like this race of people for my romantic interest, this person says to the post. Hinge, OKCupid, Plenty of Fish, and Match.com offer race and ethnicity filters, while Tinder and Bumble do not. So yeah, like you said, like these other websites have already removed race and ethnicity filters from their sites because you know they had them at some point.
Well, listen,
who's gonna go on there though? Imagine going on a dating site, you're looking for a girl, and all of a sudden a bunch of friggin' fanoiks pop up. Like they're gonna leave that site. Those sites are gonna crash because who the fuck's gonna go on there?
It's also not politically correct to keep race filters on because people will choose, and they want choice taken away from them in regards to being choose your sexual part. But also, studies shown regular dating apps actually show in true life what people truly think, and you can't have that because who does it affect? Black. Most people, regardless of race, reject the black on dating.
Yeah, on the dating sites, the BT 1000 and the Jogger, is avoid the groid. You're totally got to stay away from them, and people do, and that's
but
what
that's
I'm
the
crying
thing.
about.
What these apps,
You're cutting up bad. I don't know if it's only
you are cutting out bad, right?
every other word I can hear.
all
But
right.
Right. Well, I'll continue reading. While plenty of people have a type when it comes to dating, the researchers found that filtering for race also let people feel free to express their biases and racial misogyny towards women of color in a way they typically wouldn't in a face-to-face encounter. So, yeah. You would, not in your normal life, you wouldn't reject a black female if she was there. But on the internet, you do because you put in that in your filter. Okay, that's basically what they're saying there. So how do users go from being ignored to harassed? One possible explanation: when the average dating app user doesn't see black women because of the filters they've set, you end up with a higher percentage of users seeking black women as a fetish. So
what, climb trees?
So when they do put it in there that they are interested in black women, they only do it because they fetish for black women, as opposed to the people who don't or select that they aren't interested in black women. So the only reason you would say you were interested in black women is because you're some kind of pervert. Basically, is what they're saying.
So basically, it's always a problem with these fucking people. There's always something.
Well, what does it come down to? First of all, have any society doesn't race. Know where we're headed. Remember, everyone. But what it really comes down to is it negatively affecting black, and that's why they get rid of it. Most shows, the data shows, most races just don't like black.
No, yeah, they're aggressive, ugly, like everything about them. Nobody likes them.
Right. Well, here you go. I'm going to skip this little part here. This is anecdotal. Nick.
Even the white women, and even the women that are in sex work don't go around them because if they if they go there, they're gonna get pimped, beat, or robbed.
Right. This part of
like
here you go. This part of the article is Nicole, who's an Afro-Caribbean from Brooklyn. She says, hey, sexy, can you twerk? I love black beauty, stuff like that. She says these are the kind of messages she gets, and she's a registered nurse, so she's not interested in that kind of tomfoolery. And now it goes to down here. The author found that black women on matchmaking platforms must frequently contend with racist stereotypes, such as the sexual, insatiable Jezebel, which has roots in slavery, and the angry black woman, a belief that black women are innately unruly and ill-tempered.
Those are facts that are in real life, right there.
Right.
They gangbang, they attack, they chimp out all the time. They're aggressive.
Here's another little anecdotal story. Mish, a black executive assistant to C-suite business administrators, told the Post that her digital quest for companionship reaped of bad love connections. She says, I'm not trying to be. I want to be treated like a queen, the beautiful queen that I am. That's what she says. She recalls one relationship with a Hispanic man that quickly turned sour. When we first met, he made a point of telling me how much he loved black women. He was sexually aggressive during their first in-person meetup last year. After finally engaging in consensual sex, he ghosted her. Now, keep in mind, this woman is Mish, a black female executive assistant, but she met this Hispanic man online who was sexually aggressive, and she gave it up, and then he fucking ghosted her.
Put it this way, maybe that has to do with every time you see the black women on TV, they're twerking, they're half naked, they're just sexual. Like, come on, look, that's how you put yourself out there. Who is riddled with AIDS out of all the females in our country? Who has AIDS at the top of the list?
Right, black females, right.
Exactly.
All right, so yeah, she later goes on to say she later discovered he had a sordid history of fetishizing black women for his personal pleasures, then dumping them once he'd had his fun. So he sounds like a pervert.
It sounds like she wouldn't have had no problem with it if he stuck with the fetish, but the fact that he dumped the bone is a problem.
Right, but yeah. If he would have kept seeing her on the regular, she'd have been okay with it.
Dude, she would have dressed up as Sally fucking Hemings. She would have picked anything in a field. She would have done anything if he would have stood. But they listen, when you go out there and put yourself as a sex object, like all these black women do, just sex object, what do you think people are going to use you for? You know? Especially these mestizos who will bang goats.
Well, that's what it seems like to me with her anecdotal story there is that this mestizo was looking for easy lays online, and he knew that black women were the ones that were more likely to give it up quickest.
Stereotypes are real for a reason, man.
He can meet them at the local McDonald's, buy some stuff off the dollar menu, stop by the liquor store, pick up a couple 40s and some Swisher Sweets. And he was going to get himself some punani that night.
Oh yeah, and he might walk out and contract a few STDs.
He probably already had them based on where he was playing pool, you know.
Very true, but the mestizo don't care about that anyways, you know. We know the BT doesn't. The BT will do anything.
As soon as the American Negress puts down the
BTs,
everything's fair game. That's just normal life. They're looked upon as the lowest form.
Oh, they're sexually
trash.
They're sexually active at a very young age. Anyways, they are sexualized at a very young age. Look at them; how many kids they have by the time they're 18? They've already got 3 baby daddy. Oh, like they do
like it. It still comes down to on the racial hierarchy. They're as the lowest on the ladder.
Yes, besides an Abu that we don't have here, they are the lowest on the totem pole. Yeti read the slots and stuff, and look, nobody even wants them. They only use them, like you said, some desperate mestizo or some desperate slob who needs to get laid will hit them up and never talk to them again.
All right,
and he knows he's going to get instant, head. The ass put up in the air for you. They're going to engage in depravity. We all know. I mean, if you watch the animal gorillas, chimp, it's the same kind of thing, except it's real life, human side.
Yeah,
with them.
Well, I'm gonna go ahead and switch off the article. I mean, they gave us a couple stories from the black female's perspective, and it did make one more reference to a gay black man and his encounter with a white man online. Gay white man, and all it was the white man was asking for nudes, and that was it.
It's amazing that they think that straight heterosexual men are going to go with phenoics. It's just amazing. Not going to happen.
But this is OKCupid. I've got a 2009 thing that came from OKCupid on the screen now, and this is how your race affects the messages you get. Then you can see the 2009, October 5th, Christian Rudder. And this is a forum, the official blog of OKCupid.com. You see that right there, OK Trends, 2009. So 6 years older, or 5 years older than the study that the Post was citing. Same source, OKCupid. And what we'll do is we'll scroll down here. Reply rate by race. 2009. Male sender. Here's your Asian, Black, Hispanic, Indian, Middle Eastern, Native American, other, Pacific Islander, white, male. And here's your females. Males strike out a lot, if you noticed here on this chart. If the numbers are red, that means they're not doing so well. If the numbers are not red, that means they're doing okay.
Who does okay? Who does bad? Let's see.
The orange is kind of, you're still not doing very well if you got orange. But it's better than red. Okay. Yeah. Well, look. The Asian male, he doesn't do so well. The black male, he doesn't do well at all. He's got 2 oranges there, and the rest are all reds.
Oh, the Boone himself is not gonna. The jogger himself is not gonna do well because all the women fear him trying to pimp them, beat them, or get something for free. He's not gonna do well on there at all.
Right, like the 2 groups that are least likely to interact with a black male on OKCupid in 2009 were Asian females. Well, I guess it's a tie between a bunch of them now. Indian well, no, 19. Okay, Asian females, Hispanic females. Wow. And then we got Indian, Middle Eastern, and white.
Feather.
Dot.
Right.
The feathers were actually one of the highest, other than black females. The feathers were most likely out of all females to correspond with a black male.
Really? The dots.
Yeah, the feathers.
The feathers.
The feathers. Yeah, the dots were unlikely.
Gook.
All of them are technically unlikely. Like I said, like orange is still not very good, but it's better than red. Yeah, I mean, to be fair. Like I said, Asian men, they don't really do all that well either. Hispanic men, they do all right with the black females, though. And they do all right with the Native American females.
BT will take anything, though.
Uh-huh. Look, they got some yellow there.
See, the BT, you take anything.
Uh-huh. Yeah, if you look at the female interaction, there's one category that has no red. That's the black female. Yep. Which means they'll go after anything. Right. You see every single other. Well, no, the Native American too. Right.
Do they
have a choice?
No.
No.
Look at real life. They'll come up to you in a store and ask you for your phone number. They are the most brazen. They'll come up and hit on you. They have no. They're like men. They act like they're men. It's sick.
The most selective females are the Asian and white. The Hispanic female is pretty selective too.
Well, they're raised differently in more of a religious and tribal.
And I guarantee they're light-skinned Hispanics also.
Yeah.
Without a doubt.
All right, let's go ahead and look at another chart. So on this one, we can basically say that the black male gets the least amount of interaction from all the women, right? Okay, now this one is female senders. And if you'll notice, it's a whole lot of green on here, whole lot of green. Because let's face the facts, women are the gatekeepers when it comes to these relationships in the Western world. They make all the calls. So, yeah, when a female sends a message to somebody on an online dating website.
And another thing I want to bring up is this. People don't realize average person watch subject to the American Negro or subjected only someone. The average or the street boom or the street boom is absolute ugly. See, the thing is, you watch TV, put somewhat good looking, if you can call it that, Negroes on. Now, when you go to the regular hood, that's actually American Negro and what they look like, a negress, and it's atrocious.
All right. Well, here we go. Let's look at this one. Female sender. Okay. Like I said, whole lot of green here, right? Asian females, well, a lot of green there. A lot of green. You know, the only place they're not green is with the white male, and that's still not too bad. You know, no red. Black female, boy, a lot of red. A lot of red.
And everybody's dead. They're the lowest in the totem pole. Nobody's gonna want to deal with them. Look how they act, clapping their hands, beating people. Never mind the way they look. The looks, yeah, of course. But look at the attitude in general. You think any dude wants to be around that?
Well,
No, not at all.
like all the women do pretty well on these online dating websites. Every single race, other than the black female.
I'll put it this way: a lot of the dudes on there are going on there just probably for a one night stand and all that stuff. Who knows? It's bizarre. No, anybody could want to fornicate with these beasts, but
All right. Well, let's read a little bit of summary that they've got here on the male sender summary. Black women write back the most. Whether it's due to talkativeness, loneliness, or a sense of plain decency, Black women are by far the most likely to respond to a first contact attempt. In many cases, their response rate is 1.5 times the average, and overall, Black women reply about a quarter more often than other women. White men get more responses. Whatever it is, white males just get more replies from almost every group. We were careful to pre-select our data pools so that physical attractiveness was roughly even across all race gender slices. For guys, we did likewise with height. So they tried to make these pools as even as possible in regards to, what men and women they use. They didn't stack the deck and use a bunch of, male models for white guys and a bunch of, straight out of Africa guys for black guys, right? They tried to be as even as they could. White women prefer white men to the exclusion of everyone else, and Asian and Hispanic women prefer them even more exclusively. These three types of women only respond well to white men. More significantly, these groups' reply rates to non-white is terrible. Asian women write back non-white males at 21.9%, Hispanic women at 22.9%, and white women at 23%. It's here where things get interesting for white women in particular. If you look at the match rate by race table before this one, the should look like one, you see that white women, it's the previous table that I didn't go over. It basically says that, in short, that Asian, Hispanic, and white women on these online dating websites are far more likely to reply to a white man than they are any other race. Okay, let's read the summary they have for the female senders. Men don't write black women back. Or rather, they write them back far less often than they should. Black women reply the most, yet get by far the fewest replies. Essentially, every race, including other blacks, singles them out for the coldest shoulder. Even black men, it says, yes, don't write back black women.
Well, you could take a wig, put a wig on a black dude, look like a she-bone. Like the men and women look so similar.
Right, they do. Right, a lot of them do. So many of them.
90% really African ones. I'm not talking about some like half breed or
Yeah,
nothing.
no Holly Berries here, right?
Yeah, they look like dudes.
All right, here we go. White guys are shitty, but fairly even-handed about it. The average reply rate of non-white males is 48.1%, while white guys is only 40.5%. That's really not that much different. I guess a little bit, almost 10%. Basically, they write back about 20% less often. It's ironic that white guys are horrible responders because, as we saw above, they get the most replies. That has apparently made them very self-absorbed. It's interesting that white males do manage to reply to Middle Eastern women. Okay. That there's some kind of fetish there? Oh, come on, man. As
I don't
Middle
believe it.
Easterners are becoming America's next racial boogeyman, maybe there's some kind of forbidden fruit thing going on. Oh, come on.
That's ridiculous. They're doing it all because the BT doesn't get acknowledged.
Right.
It's not our fault. It looks at the way it looks. It acts the way it acts, and people like what they like. You know, they usually like what looks like them and their family.
Here's a table when asking, is interracial marriage a bad idea? All these groups basically said no. Everyone, 94% said no, 6%
Ask Nicole
said yes.
Simpson. Ask Nicole Brown Simpson if that was a great idea.
All right, now here you go. More specifically, would you strongly prefer to date someone of your own skin color / racial background? They've got it highlighted here. White females are the ones who said yes more often than any other group.
Aha, good.
White males were second place.
Shocking, ain't it? Oh my God, these
Right.
evil white.
But this is just normal behavior. They're trying to stomp anything that has.
Yeah, they're trying to make abnormal behavior,
Yep.
normal behavior seem abnormal, so they can say, "Well, you white guys and white women are racist for not dating out of your race." That's what they're doing to the little girls in school.
Yeah, they really a lot of propaganda here that target.
Yeah, the
Especially
propaganda
dating.
totally there to target well, the whites, black man or woman.
I mean, it's like you can see on this chart here, female senders. It really doesn't matter what race female it is. They all do pretty well, you know, other than the black female. I mean, the Indian female even does good, other than with mixed race men. It looks like everywhere, and Hispanic men and white men. She doesn't do too great with them, but other than that, she's doing fine. You know, Pacific Island females, other than Indian men, they ain't having no problems. You know, but yeah, you look at the black female, she's struggling across the board.
And always will be.
Right.
Number one, she is so manly. Look how they act, man. Like, even the guy who's like, I would date a blackie. Even that idiot, once he sees how she acts, he's gonna be horrified because she's gonna beat him. They're like, dudes, they're fucking guys.
And again, here we'll show the chart real fast here for the male senders. And again, like I said, you know, males are struggling on online dating websites pretty much in general, period. You know, it really doesn't matter what race you are. Like, you don't do too well, other than white males, of course. White males seem to do pretty well on online dating websites. It doesn't matter what race they go after. They typically do at least fairly decent. If they go for a black female, they get the green light. They get the green light there. Isn't that funny? Isn't that funny?
Poor Leslie Jones.
Black females are more likely to respond to white men. Well, they're super likely to respond to white men.
Yeah, that validates them. When a white guy hits on a BT, like her day changes. Like, which it rarely ever happens. Let's just say it does happen. They want that approval from whitey. They want to be like, oh look, I'm just as beautiful as the white woman.
It's easier for a white man to score online with a black woman. At least on OKCupid, when they put these numbers out, it was okay. It was easier for a white man to score with a black woman than any other race.
Oh, without a doubt, the black women are the most easiest women on the planet in
Right.
America.
Right.
They'll fornicate with anything. Look at the rates of children when it's just amazing. How many kids, baby daddies, the whole fucking nine. The STDs, the AIDS epidemic, the whole nine. When you're leading in all them categories, you're really not going to be sought out to be dated.
Well, here you go again. To be fair, to be as non-biased as I possibly can be, if we look for a little further into this chart, it's easier for every single type of male, regardless of race, to score with black females.
Yeah, even a donkey. My dog could score with the Shaniqua down the street.
Look, the lightest color, the one closest to green for every single male category was with the black female. Yep.
What does that tell you about the black?
Oh yeah, she gives up the nappy dugout.
She gives up that snappy nappy dugout.
Any homie that comes along, or anybody that comes along.
You get the snappy nappy dugout? I got me the snappy nappy dugout.
What do you think in Africa? Look, riddled with AIDS. In America, riddled with AIDS. Why is that?
It's the snappy nappy dugout.
The problem is, though, get this, go that constantly laying down grass. One of them is right off the. They have some of the highest rates.
Oh, the down low homeboy. Yeah, it gets spread by the down low homeboy, right?
Oh yeah, the jogger is one of the most down low homosexuals ever. Where do you think the term homeboy got popularized? Because of being a download homosexual in jail, and when it got out in the streets, people didn't know what it was. So all of a sudden, this word became a good word. Boy from my homosexual boy in prison.
Again, to show as much non-bias as I can in regards to the topic matter being discussed. Yes, the black female and her HIV rates, a big chunk of that can be blamed on the down low homeboy. Absolutely.
Yeah, no doubt. What the thing is, a lot of people don't know. A lot of American male Negroes are molested by trained,
right?
Given early on, but a lot of people.
You're cutting out real bad, Wolf.
I can't understand.
Yeah, you're cutting out real bad. But yeah, I mean, to be fair, again, non-biased, really trying to represent numbers and not biases here. I mean, the down low homeboy is a large percentage of the black female HIV rate. He does hold a lot of the blame, but also the promiscuity, the Jezebel is to be blamed for a lot of it as well.
Of course, the promiscuous BT.
The promiscuous BT, right?
It's out of this world with the promiscuous.
I mean, we look at the chart, the female sender or the female recipient from the male sender. Again, the color that's closest to green for every single race is in the black female category, right? She's more likely to lay with any old man, regardless, than any other race that's fucking
or a
represented.
Saint Bernard. I think she would lay with a Saint Bernard.
Well,
and
I'm not
people
or nothing, but
we're subjected to the Holly Berry grace reality. We've got to take that in.
They can blame it on a lot of things. I agree the down low homeboy is it, but there is also many other reasons why she has the AIDS stuff is because the promiscuous sleeping with anybody. Without a doubt.
It comes down, nobody wants And that's what, like
Well,
I
look,
said, they're going to try to better rid racial filter dating just so she do a little better.
yeah.
Right.
Well,
Feelings, facts over feelings, right?
There you
facts
go.
over
Exactly.
feelings. Yeah,
Feelings over facts, I mean, right?
my feels.
My
Yeah.
feels, right?
It's like, well, why do all these BTs at the age of 15 have 4 baby daddies?
We're going to force something on everybody else that's using our website just
Yep.
so that we can help the feelings of one particular group.
Yeah, that's what it's all about. It's been about for a long time, coddling to the little baby Jaga.
Yep. Coddling
And that's
somebody.
like that in every, like that, like math now, science. +2 is no longer 4; it's 5. Coddle, white pup. It's only going to be worse.
I mean, here you go. Online dating websites and New York Post. Why can't I, join an online dating website and put on there that, I'm not interested in other races? Why can I not do that?
Racist. That's why.
Racist.
You're going to be a racist doing that.
So having a preference is racist.
Racist, yeah.
Okay.
That's how they say it.
Preferences are racist, right? At least racial preferences. And like Wolf was saying, so are, we're going to be where sexual orientation preferences are also not allowed as well.
Coming, brother. Right. There's going to be tranny rape gangs out there also.
They don't just want me to receive messages, from Shaniqua and LaShonda, but they also want me to receive messages from RuPaul.
Yep.
They want me to get messages from RuPaul and God, what's the one?
Grannies.
What's the one in Orange is the New Black? The one on that show?
I don't know, but they're gonna basically, like, if you just say to a granny, "No, I wouldn't date you," they're gonna be called a homophobe.
It's gonna be a hate crime.
Right.
Hate crime. Yeah.
They want Chaz Bono sending me messages, but to be fair, I don't know. Chaz probably has, the pork and beans nowadays. I don't think Chaz has got the female parts anymore.
I don't know. They should have drowned Chaz Bono in a lake when it was little.
In a bog.
Yeah, when she was on the Cal Burnett show.
Throwing him in the marsh.
Listen, that's
put him in the marsh.
They put our outside in a bog.
Oh man!
Bring back the days.
Bring back the bog.
Exactly, the bog.
Bring back the bog.
It's only gonna get worse.
All right, well,
this shit where it's like, wait a minute, you won't date her? It's like, it's not a her. That was a boy 3 years ago. No, she went. That doesn't mean nothing. You should give her a shot. Like, what the fuck?
Well, here you go. I'm gonna go ahead and conclude on this video, on this stream, on this podcast, whatever you want to fucking call it, and say that, based on what we've presented today, the New York Times or Post, whichever one it was. Was it the Post or the Times? I don't remember. One of them. With the lefty one. And, they're saying that on today's current online website, dating platform, apps, whatever, that, black women are being racially profiled, and black men, but more specifically black women. And, we look at this 2009 OKCupid. They cite the 2014 study, but we went ahead and went all the way back to 2009 because OKCupid's been doing this for a long time. And personally, I already knew all this information, so I felt very comfortable talking about this OKCupid information because I have known about it since 2009. And, these biases have always existed, at least from 2009. They existed back then. So I'm going to conclude and say that, yes, online dating apps are absolutely biased towards black women, and that apparently it's been a long-standing thing on online dating apps that men, regardless of race, really aren't interested in black women, even though black women are interested in every man, regardless of race. And that's going to be my conclusion. Yes, racial biases exist definitely towards the black woman, and they do exist to a lesser degree, but still towards the black man more than any other race. You know, kind of Asian men get it bad too, but more specifically the black man too. But definitely more overall, top of all of them, the black woman is being held down and marginalized because men, regardless of race, want nothing to do with them, even other black men.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'll conclude with avoid the groid always.
Yeah, and
It's smart, because if not, you get hurt.
I've always said that, Mark. You try to avoid the groid aspect of life, and not even dating app.
Now they're trying to take that away from you too, right? They want to force the interactions. You know, who are we to say whether or not we shouldn't have it forced on us, right? I mean, we're just the people. You know, God forbid the people have anything to say in anything at all, right? Just take our freedoms away from us, our right to choose anything. You know, especially when it has to do with race. Can't choose about that stuff at all. Nope.
Well, you can't choose it on the TV, right?
Right.
But you can choose it in real life. Now they're going to take the dating. You still, well, the next thing, what are they going to away? That might where you picture will always be there. So the next step is, well, look at picture. You got to meet the person live. We know where this is heading.
Oh yeah, we know where this is heading. Absolutely. Absolutely. And everybody that watches this, well, they know where it's heading to. But yes, final verdict. Yes, racial biases towards black women, more specifically than any other group. Yes, apparently no man, regardless of race, wants anything to do with black women sexually. And yeah, that's a shame, even because black women want everything to do with every man, regardless of race, sexually. And I'm going to end it at that. You guys have a good day. Enjoy the show. Glad you came. And we'll see you guys next time.